Kia ora, Chrissy back again, and we're going to get into the next two episodes of Star Wars Clone Wars. So last time on Clone Wars we had the episodes Death Trap and R2 Come Home. In Death Trap we were introduced to a young Boba Fett. I was incredibly surprised that it was him. I was really taken aback. But it was great to see a little bit more of, probably the most famous bounty hunter in Star Wars history. He had infiltrated onto a Star Destroyer, the Endurance, with the sole purpose of killing Mace Windu. He was there when Mace killed his father, Jango Fett, and he wants revenge. He has been helped by two other bounty hunters, I guess, Aura and Bosk. Another big surprise that I found, because I knew who Bosk was. I passively knew who Bosk was. I knew that he was in the universe, but I wouldn't have been able to pick him out. I knew he was a Trandoshan, but I wouldn't have been able to pick him out unless he'd been named. But they were the ones to help Boba infiltrate and get his revenge on Mace. Obviously, it didn't go the way that they wanted it to. The whole assassination failed. But he did manage to bring down the Endurance on his own. And they crash landed on the planet below, Vancor, I think it was called. He managed to escape in one of the pods, and his buddies came to pick him up, much to the chagrin of his fellow clones, and one in particular who, was the only one that kind of took his side, Jax. In R2 Come Home, we had Anakin and Mace go down to the planet Vancor to try and find the debris of the Endurance, and find out the fate of the captain that went down with the ship, Admiral Killian, as well as clone officer Pons, and there was another person who I'm not quite sure who that was, but there's three of them. They have been... when Anakin and Mace got to the wreckage, they find that all the rest of the clones, people on board clones, they had been killed, not by the crash, not by the Gundarks that are roaming the planet, but put down by who we find out to be Aura and the rest of the bounty hunters that helped Boba Fett. They had come down and checked the wreckage before Anakin and Mace was able to. They left behind a nice little present for Mace, a Mandalorian helmet that when Anakin recognized it and lifted it up, it exploded. And this was when Mace realized just who exactly this young clone was, what his purpose was. And unfortunately, the explosion left Mace and Anakin trapped. It was up to R2 to get a message back to the Jedi Temple to bring help. They had all communications that were leaving the planet blocked, so R2 could not get a message out. He had to take Mace's ship and fly himself to the Jedi Temple to get help, which he does, and brings back Ahsoka and Plo Koon, and they managed to rescue our boys. Now that all of that is kind of out in the open, we still have Killian and Pons captured, and we need to get them back. I'm guessing that's what this episode is going to be about. Lethal Trackdown, tracking down our missing soldiers. So let's get straight into the next episode of Clone Wars. Let's do it.
The young Boba Fett has taken the law into his own hand. Boba's mentor, bounty hunter Aura Singh, has taken 3 Republic officers hostage, a tactic that does not sit well with the young vigilante.
How do we feel about the renaming of Slave 1? I mean, I don't care personally. I can see some people would care, but I don't.
You don't have to do this. You're not like them.
I'm no soldier. I'm no clone, not like those two. What are we gonna do with them?
I think our friends here are about to finally prove useful.
God, look how long those fingers are. We know that, this doesn't really affect Boba in the long run because he becomes a bounty hunter.
That kid destroyed an entire cruiser trying to get to you. And you're just gonna let it go? Stop this kid and bring him to justice.
We are fighting a war.
They apparently took hostages.
Until you face Boba, these men will be killed. One at a time. Name!
CT-411.
Boba, do it. Boba!
Shit.
I'll go.
You are too injured to travel. I shall go and take Padawan Tano with me.
Oh, wow, okay.
Next time I tell you to pull the trigger, you do it.
He ends up as a bounty hunter anyway. However, just because you're a bounty hunter, it doesn't mean you're evil.
We're in over our heads.
I never took you for a coward, Castus. You feel the same?
I'm still in. Not me. I'm out.
You can drag your worthless carcass off of the ship when we land. We're going to visit an old friend. Maybe he can replace Castus.
Oh. You know what'd be cool? Cad.
Seems this boy found himself in the care of at least one of Django's associates.
So we're looking for friends of Django Fett, or places where they hang out.
We must go to the lower levels.
Okay. You know what this reminds me of? Did you ever see the early trailer of Star Wars 1313? That would have been such a great game. Oh no! No, please don't. Please don't do it. Fuck.
Oh, my dear.
No!
You never were good at asking for permission to land.
Oh!
Yes. Not mine, I take it.
No. He's Django's son.
He was a friend and an honorable man.
And that's Castus. But he's getting off here.
Alive?
You're not the first man to bail out from under her command.
I actually do like this guy. I think he's funny.
I'm stuck out here on Flora. This job's gone south. Like every job I do with that hag.
He's not getting off this planet alive.
I have some information. Information that's worth something to the right people.
Castus!
You're a fucking idiot to do that right when she's there. I mean, it's not like he was going to be leaving this planet anyway.
You have adopted many of your master's ways. You may be surprised what people reveal when they have been drinking.
Yep.
Okay, try to relax. I'm listening. Listening.
A buddy of mine was just murdered on Flora.
Murder?
That's sisters.
He was working with Aura Singh.
Find something interesting, kid.
Oh!
Stand down!
Oh!
Drinks on the house. I heard about a murder. A murder Aura Singh recently committed.
Well done, little Soka. We're off to Flora.
Aww.
We've got an incoming ship. Jedi, by the look of it.
Took them long enough. Get the hostages ready.
I will not help you, but I will not hinder you either.
It's smart.
I should assume you are walking us into a trap.
They're waiting inside the bar. I am not involved in this.
I wanted Windu. What are you doing here?
Bosk, execute the hostages if I give the word.
You have already lost, and you don't even know it.
Oh!
I'm not a murderer, but I want justice.
No one will be harmed if you come quietly.
Oh, He is cool.
Bomb!
Oh!
Aura, help! Help me! Don't leave me!
If you do not tell us where those men are, they are going to die.
She left me.
Well, yeah, of course you did.
He will not reveal the location of the hostages. I thought you might talk some sense into him.
Why?
Why should I help anybody? I've got no one.
It is the honorable thing to do. It's what your father would have wanted.
She is trying to lead you away from the hostages.
Yep, let her go. She's not what's important right now.
Don't move.
Shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, there's no way she's dead. Just too cool a character. Plus, Boba ends up with Slave 1, so it must have been salvaged somehow.
I see now I've done terrible things. But you started when you murdered my father. I'll never forgive you.
Well, you're going to have to. Take him away.
He doesn't have to do shit. Okay, so then how does he... I hope we find out how he ends up out of custody and in the pilot seat of Slave 1. I'll be interested to know if in this Clone Wars and maybe Rebels, I don't know, like the timeline for Rebels, I'm not sure what the timeline is, where it comes in, you know, with this whole, where it comes in the timeline. But a teenage Boba Fett, do we ever get that? Like, does the canon know what happened, how he grew up and what happened in his, you know, teenage years? Because I read in the in Wikipedia, like I was going over the last episode, and it said that the clones in Death Trap, the kid clones, were like 6 years old. Now that can't be 6 years old like how we would have a 6-year-old, because they seemed more like, I don't know, 10, 12-year-olds. I'm sure that's what it said. Yeah, a squad of chronologically 6-year-old clones. What does that mean? Chronologically 6-year-old clones. But yeah, like, do they age quick? Do they, when they're born, are they actual babies? But yeah, no, it was cool. It was great to see Hondo again. I love him. He's just so, I love his accent too. He's just so funny. And for a pirate, he is pretty honourable to let Plo Koon know and Ahsoka know that they're walking into a trap. And he doesn't want anything to do with it. He doesn't know anything to do with it, and he's doing it because it's the honourable thing to do. And then to get Boba to confess where the hostages are being kept, because Jango would have done the same thing, because it was the honourable thing to do. And that's what I love about Hondo's character. It's always a treat to see him. I thought, I don't know, I think a small part of me was hoping that we would get to see Cad Bane, because I like him too. But this was cool as well. Again, I don't think Aura is dead though, and I'm sure she'll come back at some stage. But yeah, that was a pretty straightforward episode. I think we're just going to get straight into the next one. Let me just change our overlay, because we are going to do episode 46, Corruption, which is actually going to fling us into the 3rd season. Now, I was going to do single episodes again once I got into the 3rd season. I actually like doing these double episode episodes, because I managed to get through the episodes quite quickly this way. This way I can get into Rebels and Bad Batch, and I know that like the things like the Ahsoka series is going to be coming along. That's supposed to be a continuation of Rebels, apparently. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think I should just keep going with double episodes just to get through the Clone Wars? So I mean, we're at what, 46, episode 46 that we're going into, and there are 133 episodes all up for Clone Wars, so I've got a way to go. And to get through them, it would probably be a good idea to do the double episodes, and probably in the last season, season 7, the final season, do single episode ones there. What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea? But yeah, we're going to get into Corruption, which is season 3, episode 5, episode 46, Corruption. Let's go.
Desperate times on Mandalore.
Yay! Dee!
Supplies are impossible to come by, except on the black market. The Duchess faces a world consumed by greed. Padme Amidala to make a diplomatic visit.
We're getting the ladies. Okay. So Padme and Satine. No Obi?
I know our decision to stay neutral has caused distress in the Senate.
Many systems have been affected.
The help we need now is opening trade routes so we may get supplies more freely. I did not bring you here to discuss politics. I had hoped to show you the new Mandalore.
Okay.
Not the typical Mandalorian welcome.
I just wanted to greet you myself, before the others.
Oh, wow. I can hear it already. Wow.
Now this is a Mandalorian welcome.
And how's it gonna fuck up? What's the Death Watch gonna do?
Hurry up. Here comes the customs official.
Yeah, he looks suspect.
Your arrival isn't listed here on my schedule. Must be a clerical oversight. I'm sure it won't happen again. Deal with me directly in the future. Got it? As you wish.
Corruption everywhere.
I'm afraid our neutrality has caused our people to suffer, and has forced us to turn to a black market filled with corruption.
I hear your worries, but the longer you argue, the more your people suffer. New trade routes are essential to survival.
What would you propose, Senator?
The Republic can provide security.
The Republic's own dealings with the black market far surpass Mandalore's.
It's quite hypocritical of you to come here.
Mandalore cannot protect
This
its
is
present
the
government
price
in
of
favor
you.
Silence! I call this meeting adjourned. We will reconvene and allow cooler heads to prevail.
So these are the black market guys.
What is this stuff? Slavin. If we add it, we can make twice as much tea at twice the profit. Isn't it toxic?
Okay, so they're basically watering down the tea with a toxin? Fuck me.
How do you feel about the Republic's...
So beautiful.
It's so complicated.
Oh, so is she. Oh my god, they both look awesome.
The contamination of greed reaches deep and far within the Republic.
There are still those of us who work to overcome the corruption.
A new hospital is opened. Tomorrow you and I shall visit.
Yet here, you know, in your own docks, there's a lot of corruption going on there. This is from drinking all that tea. Look like all kids.
What is happening here?
These children have been poisoned, and it's not just here, I'm afraid. We're testing their food, but it will take some time.
It must be Death Watch.
I'm not so sure. The Death Watch attacks have only been directed at myself and the administration.
They are terrorists.
Our minds should be on the sick children that are dying in the streets.
I must speak to the ruling council about this matter.
His concern for the children
was practically none.
Can't just sit here and do nothing.
As my personal guards, you are the only ones I can trust to investigate this matter.
Hundreds of children have been poisoned.
This is a Mandalorian matter, and we must find out who dares poison our children.
So, where do we start?
The schools.
We're gonna find more than what we thought we're going. More corruption than we thought there was.
We've cleared the food here. None of it is tainted.
What about their drinks, Doctor?
Those are not part of the school's menu. They are allowed through an outside vendor. Excuse me, child. I must borrow your drink.
How could you have not have tested that already?
This tea contains a high level of slabin. Mixed with the tea and at this concentration, I'm certain it's the cause of the children's illness.
The school must have an import log, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
He's part of it. He looks worried.
Everything is here, Satine.
Everything except the records for the tea shipments. Superintendent? Hold it right there!
I have to go.
Stop him!
Your Duchess tells you to stop and you're like, no.
I never meant to harm anyone. They offered me a great deal. I could keep some money for myself too.
All this because you were greedy?
I am not the only one making money off this operation. His name's Sadiq. He works for a shipping company.
It's hard because
I bribed the school official. What's the problem?
What you've done is illegal.
My corporate contracts protect me.
Where do you get the tea?
From Muga.
The fucking arrogance.
They're actually bringing in a shipment tonight. You want to know which dock?
I'm sorry, but that's hilarious how it crawls.
Welcome back, gentlemen. I'm here for my inspection.
Caught red-handed.
But what you're saying, it's impossible.
We witnessed it with our own eyes.
Smuggling does not take place on my watch.
And were you watching as children were dying?
Duchess, with all due respect...
If you want my respect, you will arrest these criminals and stop stalling.
All right. We'll see what's going on.
The fucking arrogance and disrespect.
Satine, what are those guards doing here?
Guards, let us into this warehouse.
We're under strict orders not to let anyone in.
You're fucking Duchess.
Open these doors.
Are you serious? Oh fuck, I thought they shot her. Oh, Padme, you're a boss. There she is.
I want you to burn down this warehouse.
Excuse me?
Burn it down, or I'll consider you a part of this conspiracy.
Okay.
It wasn't Death Watch, Prime Minister. It was a group of black market smugglers.
Oh, I'm glad this is over.
I'm afraid it's not over. The corruption we witnessed is intolerable.
I assure you this will not go unpunished.
I'm counting on you, Almec.
Oh. Is he trustworthy?
You heard Prime Minister Almec say he'll investigate. You must have hope, Satine.
The very people conducting this investigation might be corrupt. Perhaps a Jedi working undercover at the Academy could be of service to us.
I will speak with Master Yoda.
Young Jedi. Who?
Duchess.
The only young Jedi that I know of is Ahsoka, but I'm sure people already know that she is a Jedi and who she is. So she can't exactly go undercover. Yeah. Corruption everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. And clearly it doesn't matter who you are, because you know, if the money is high enough, because you saw those people just flat out refusing to obey, I don't like to say obey, but refusing the orders of the Duchess. However, I mean, clearly this was like governmental corruption, as she said. Officials, just all for greed. But because of the trade that has been closed down to Mandalore, and they've had to turn towards the black market, things obviously are pretty dire in that kind of regard on Mandalore. People do desperate things when they're desperate, especially if it's for you know, survival. I don't think that was the case for a lot of the people that we were shown that were being corrupt, but you know, if they don't get this sorted out, it could get so much worse where just normal, everyday, hardworking people have to resort to, you know, deals like this to feed their families. I'm not sure if I trust the Prime Minister anymore. Just the way that he immediately blamed the Death Watch and kind of shook off what happened to the children. I don't know, I'll be keeping my eye on him. Obviously, we might be going into some kind of arc maybe that has to do with the corruption on Mandalore. But I'm interested to see where that goes. But no Death Watch this time. As soon as the Prime Minister mentioned that it could be Death Watch, I was like, you know, I immediately thought no. But yeah, it was great to see Satine and Padme team up for this episode. Oh my god, they are so awesome. Beautiful, and they kick ass. What more could you want? Okay, so we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you for watching with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And leave a comment on, as I was talking before, about what you think I should do for the rest of the episodes until we get to Season 7. Double episodes up until Season 7, then single? Or should I start going into single episodes again? Again, mainly because I want to get through Clone Wars and into Rebels as soon as I can. Alright, so I'll see you next time. See you guys.